UFC fans were eagerly awaiting Paulo Costa's face-off in UFC 294. However, unforeseen circumstances have forced Costa to step back. Taking his place in the co-main event is none other than the reigning UFC welterweight champion Kamaru Usman, who's all set to face the formidable Khamzat Chimaev. UFC president, while discussing the revamped lineup, and Dana White said, "The UFC always brings the best fights possible. Chimaev has been dominating his recent bouts, and this matchup against Usman is sure to be explosive." With Paulo Costa forced to withdraw due to an infection on his elbow, former welterweight champion Kamaru Usman stepped in to face Chimaev. While many fighters were likely contacted about the opportunity, Bo Nichols said on his YouTube channel, "I was disappointed they didn't ask me to step in there. I was expecting at least an ask like, hey, you wanted to this? But no. Just nothing. Nothing from the UFC. It is what it is. I'm guessing they didn't want me to roll over into Abu Dhabi on 10 days' notice and smash their boy in front of his home crowd or something." Nikhil continued, "They didn't even ask. It wasn't an option. Like I said, there was probably a lot that went into that decision, so we'll do it another time. It's a good fight between Chimaev and Usman. I think it will be competitive based on his fight with Gilbert Burns. I do think that he overlooked Burns, but also Usman is pretty good, a little older. I'll definitely watch back on the replay a few days after it happens." Khamzat Chimaev is down to fight Kamaru Usman as long as the former UFC welterweight champion is willing to make the move up to 185 pounds. The response from Chimaev came after Usman addressed the potential matchup during a fiery appearance at UFC 290, where he voiced his frustration with trying to make the fantasy fight become a reality. Usman said, "You know, at the end of the day, I have been, and still am, the boogeyman of this division. I asked for the guy. If you want to fight, you want to be a champion, cut the weight and come fight." In a post on Twitter, Chimaev challenged Usman to meet him at middleweight, rather than clashing at 170 pounds, which was apparently where the difficulty started with putting the fight together. Chimaev said, "Kamaru Usman, why are you talking about me? You said you want to fight at middleweight. The weight is no problem for you. You are the boogeyman, but I am the wolf. Come on."
Kamaru Usman, what are you talking about me? You said you want to fight 84 kilo. Weight, no problem for you. You're a boogeyman, but I am the wolf. Come up.
As for Khamzat, Leon Edwards doesn't think that he's as good as the UFC is building him up to be. Leon stated, "He's a good fighter, but I don't think he's what the UFC was building him to be. Like this untouchable monster. He's a solid fighter. He's good, but there are always ways to beat these guys. This is why I'm on an 11-fight win streak. I'm not just going to go out there and scrap with you. I know how to fight. He's on my list as well that I want to take out. So let him go make weight. Probably fight Colby Covington or something like that, and we can run that on as well." Khamzat doesn't seem too worried about facing Usman though.
I'm good. Life is good. Bilal is good. Singer is good. Coffee is here. Kamaru Usman is there.
Usman has been open to fighting Khamzat for quite some time, but he pointed out that Khamzat was the issue before.
If you want to fight, you want to be a champion, cut the fucking weight. He's saying he's the boogeyman of the division, and I think he's a really, really good fighter. Very, very good fighter. But hey, you want to fight? Cut the weight and let's fight. Be disciplined. He don't want to do that anymore. He's got money now. He's loving the life and he's living good.
The bout will be Usman's first since losing his title and suffering back-to-back losses to Leon Edwards. Usman told TMZ, "The crazy thing is, I hate being put in this position because this was supposed to be the fight. He's a great, very, very good prospect contender. He was in my weight class, so that fight naturally was what was supposed to happen. And I said, all right, let's do it. I've been ready for it. Let's do it." But of course, some things from his side about not being able to make the weight, and also from the UFC side, they have their plans, and so the fight didn't come together. Better yet, Dana has confirmed that the winner of this fight is going to be set to take on a title fight.
Yes, that is an absolute fact. The fact that these guys are taking this fight short notice, they will get the next shot at the title, you know, barring injuries and other things that could possibly happen. But who knows? Every year I say to myself, this year was incredible. How do we beat this year and next year? Yet shit just keeps falling in line and keeps happening. It's amazing, man. It's the fun thing about the sport. One of the things that I've learned in being in this sport is reality is better than any script you could ever write.
Sean Strickland thinks that Usman's cardio is next level compared to Khamzat. Sean stated, "The thing about Usman, man, cardio. He just has cardio, you know. I don't necessarily know which one is better on a skill level, but I will say that Usman, he's the veteran. He's had a lot of title fights, a lot of 5-rounders, so only the gods know." Alexander Volkanovski really thinks that the short notice that Usman is getting will be too much for him to handle.
Interesting fight. I think, again, credit to Chimaev because it ain't an easy fight. We know Usman's got very good takedown defense. Colby Covington had big problems with with Usman, trying to take him down. I think Usman even got the takedowns on him. So we could expect a stand-up fight.
Bilal Muhammad didn't think that the fight was ever going to materialize because of Khamzat's habit of talking without backing it up. Bilal stated, "This new Twitter age is kind of annoying because Khamzat is one of those guys, kind of like Conor McGregor, where they'll throw out a random tweet here and there, but nothing ever comes of it, right? When they say that, I'm like, bro, that fight is not happening, because they will both say something about it and then there won't be anything else. I think it's literally all talk to stay in the news, stay relevant. I'm excited to see if Usman fights again." Usman accepted the fight, but former UFC fighter Darren Till doesn't think it will go well for the Nigerian nightmare. Till told the Schmo, "Usman's got balls, but I just think Khamzat's going to run over him. As much as I'm his friend, I'm his biggest fan, Khamzat. I think he's going to run over Usman." While Usman doesn't plan to leave welterweight permanently, he doesn't see how anything else could happen next if he hands Boars his first loss. Usman said in interviews with TNZ, "I mean, it's a no-brainer. Sean Strickland is the champion. I've already taken care of him. Not to say he's not better, he is, but I've got a mountain in front of me that I have to scale and climb. We'll get through that first and then we'll worry about what's next, but it's a no-brainer." Meanwhile, Michael Bisping believes that Dricus du Plessis is going to be rather upset about this last-minute change-up. Michael stated, "That might raise an eyebrow or two because there are certainly a lot of worthy contenders out there. So, if we take a look at the rankings here, we can see Sean Strickland, the champion, just had that great win over Israel Adesanya, 4 rounds to 1. There it is. At number 2, Dricus du Plessis. You have to think that he's the one right now that's really pissed off to hear this news, because after the way he beat Robert Whittaker and the win streak that he was on, and the way he finished most people, I understand that should be fighting for the belt. The stakes will be high on Saturday when the two step inside the Octagon. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.